No regrets. No regrets. Life and death has been determined by this one answer to a single question. Are you a Christian? From the beginning of time, Christians have been killed. Can we even begin to imagine the courage that it took for our fellow believers to take a stand, knowing that to do so would require the ultimate sacrifice? Churches, school shootings, our faith is being tested. Murders in small towns, our religion. Churches used to be a safe place for our families. But you and their families can take comfort in knowing that after they took their last breath on earth, they took their first breath in heaven. No regrets. Jesus said, if the world hates you, know that it hated me before it hated you. There was a shooter here in America that ordered students to get on the ground, and then he told them to stand up and state their religion. One quote said, and they would stand up, and he said, good, because you're a Christian, you're going to see God in just about 1 second. And then he shot and he killed them. A quote from a student in Oregon. The shooter was lining up and asking if they were Christians. The message read, if they said yes, then they were shot in the head. And if they said no or didn't answer, they were shot in the leg. Christians were and are being killed for their faith, even on American soil. Police said a man who recently converted to Islam burst into a Moore, Oklahoma food distribution center and beheaded 54-year-old Colleen Hufford. He injured a second woman, 43-year-old Tracy Johnson, before the chief operating officer at the plant shot him and ended the rampage. Police said he did not know either of his victims. Like I said before, this has been going on since the beginning of those who called themselves Christians or Christ followers. Dozens killed in California shooting incident. Husband and wife responsible for the San Bernardino mass shooting pledged allegiance to ISIS on Facebook together. Stephen was stoned to death in the Bible. He was the first account of a man who was killed because he was a Christ follower. Acts chapter 6 and 7, it says Stephen boldly preached the gospel. And they clearly did not like him because he told them that they put Jesus on the cross. And he was dying, and he looked up into heaven, and he saw Jesus standing on the right hand of God. He then looked at his persecutors, and he asked God's forgiveness on them. Peter was crucified upside down for being a Christian. Disturbing photographs recently have emerged from Syria and around the world showing the bodies of executed men, women, and even children hanging on crosses. So it's still going on today. Jesus Christ was crucified, but they cried out, away with him, crucify him. Pilate saith unto them, shall I crucify your king? The chief priests answered, we have no king but Caesar. Then delivered he him therefore unto them to be crucified. And he took Jesus away and led him away. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side one, and Jesus in the midst. It's time to live with no regrets. Are you an American? What's your faith? Life and death was determined by the answer to that single question. Are you a Christian? Revelation 21 and 3, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. We must live with no regrets. And I believe there's several that have been martyred and killed for Jesus' sake. And they are in heaven right now, rejoicing.